Hello and welcome to another quick edition of the Ask Dr. Pickel show. And I just wanted to give a research update today. I thought this was some really interesting information here, a more recent study. In fact, I'll pull that up. This was done in a journal called Science Daily. And kind of interesting here, gut microbes shape our antibodies before we are infected by pathogens. And some of you may say, what the heck, what, Dr. Pickel, that's not interesting. That's not exciting, is it? Well, it's kind of neat stuff. It's pretty exciting. And then I want to kind of explain a little bit more here. So this gut microbiota, or the good gut bacteria, let's say that, all these bacteria that live in our gut, very important. And as science learns more and more, we find out more and more about this and how much it influences everything in the body. It's extremely complex, and a lot of it is kind of unexplainable. So this study was saying, hey, we already knew that these gut bacteria had an influence on our immune system in a really good way and in an important way to help us fight bad guys, I guess you could say. But the thing is we didn't know how that influence occurred. And sometimes in the past, it was almost thought that it's just some random influence. And so basically in our body, there are these things called antibodies, meaning that these are like, I call them the immune system's Post-it notes, meaning that the immune system will attach these Post-it notes onto things to say, here's what this is, attack it, this is a bad guy. And that way the body can tag things in the body and as problems, and then of course mount an attack to get rid of that. It allows our body to identify things. Now, the thing is and these cells that make these antibodies are called B cells. And these B cells are manufactured in the spleen. So that spleen's pretty important. It's not just a reservoir for blood, and it's not something you just want to get rid of. It does make your B cells, so it's pretty important. And the thing is what they found with this is that the gut, these bacteria in the gut, they somehow communicate with our white blood cells and help direct them and help to tell them, hey, there's a bad guy. But the weird part about it is they do it before the infection ever occurs or is thought to occur. So we may not even have an infection yet. Maybe something has been sensed in our gut, but our immune system is already making antibodies to this future infection potentially here. So these microbes trigger basically these B cell populations and trigger this antibody production. And again, so they can get, of course, an outcome of winning a battle. But again, very, very interesting stuff. And from our standpoint, it's interesting because, let's put this into kind of a more realistic standpoint in that, hey, what does this mean to me? Well, it means that if your gut bacteria are a wreck, if your gut's a wreck, if you've got a lot of gut problems or even brain problems, because the gut and brain connect. So some people don't get the gut problems, they get just the brain problems or the central nervous system problems, or it can be a combination of both. But if your gut bacteria are messed up, let's just say it plainly, then your immune system's not going to work properly. It can't signal properly. It can't fight battles properly. It can't do what it needs to properly. So again, very important that gut and gut bacteria are working, and this research is just showing more on how important that is. And because we've seen in the past where, in conventional medicine, where it was thought that, hey, the gut's the gut, it doesn't relate to anything else. If you get your food doesn't play a part in the rest of the body. You hear all these things. I'll have patients who tell me these comments that are made, and it's very frustrating because somebody's not reading the research. But as you read the research, you really can see how much everything connects and how it's so connected. And even though the way that something works like this, they have no idea how that signaling occurs, but it occurs. And so it's just as you dig deeper into the body, you find more and more unexplainable things. But as we find out more about those earlier unexplainable things, we find more tools to help you and get you better. So, all right. Well, I hope that everybody enjoyed that quick little research update, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I will talk to you